Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Dragonball Nation. Today I'm giving you guys another Dragonball Super episode review, this time for episode 71, and I did quite enjoy this episode a fair amount, even though nothing really surprised us. I think a lot of the viewers, if you follow Dragon Ball online or watch a lot of YouTubers, anything like that, this whole episode didn't really hold a lot of surprises, but it still managed to be engaging. It wasn't exactly super exciting. I don't want that to sound as if it's a negative on the episode, because it was engaging, at least for me, the whole way through. It was a very slow episode, very slow, very, I guess, methodical could be a word for it, I suppose. It did have a lot going on, but at the same time, it had a slow pace. And this is the episode, of course, where Hit goes and goes to assassinate Goku because it is his next target. And the episode kind of starts off, I talked about this in my preview for this episode. I kind of was thinking, it looks like Goku's maybe sensing Hit's energy. And I did wait for the Crunchyroll subs for this because Herms was not around to translate the episode live. So I felt like this was the type of episode that I had to wait on until I had these subs. But it's not too late in the night. But the episode does start off with Goku looking for a source of energy, and it is revealed that the whole time he's looking for this source of energy, he knows, number one, he knows someone's out to kill him, and number two, he knows that it's Hit. And I think that's quite interesting, and it just shows like how insane Dragon Ball characters can really be, that they can know someone just by their energy presence, just how their energy feels in comparison to other beings, right? It's always something that I find kind of crazy, and not something you really see in a lot of fiction, I suppose. And by the way, speaking of things you don't see a lot, at least in terms of Dragon Ball, is the way this episode started off was it showed Goku being Goku dead on the ground and Gohan, Goten, Piccolo discovering his body. And I thought it was interesting that they showed that in the beginning of the episode. Then the episode started off for real. So they kind of showed like, this is what happens at the end and here's what leads up to it. It happens a lot in a lot of video games like to do that now. I noticed that type of trend. A lot of video games like to tell the story that way now. I've really noticed that in recent years, and we have this with Dragon Ball Super, but it's not something that's really done in Dragon Ball at all, really, ever. It's never been done, I don't think. So I think it was quite interesting. And I feel like, number one, the title's kind of crappy for this. It kind of obviously does say exactly what's going to happen in the episode. Goku dies. The preview obviously shows Hit and Goku. We already know. There's no mystery here. I feel like this episode could have been a lot more, at least for the average fan that watches it week to week. I think that this episode could have been a lot better for those fans if it had held back on showing off Hit. Of course, then they wouldn't have gotten people hyped up for it as much. They could have shown Goku being like knocked out, quote unquote, we should say, in place of him dying, I guess. It wouldn't say he died, but it could have said like, it could have shown like him getting unconscious or something like that, or what would appear to be that. It'd leave a lot more mystery, and it would suit the story for this episode a lot better. But overall, again, I did enjoy it. I like the slow pace, and I like that Goku this whole episode is trying to sense the ki and make sure he's aware of when he knows Hit's coming. He knows it's gonna happen. He's waiting for the moment, but he's being aware of it the whole episode, and I love that side of Goku. A lot of people say Goku's so stupid, and I don't know why this is still something that is, and he is stupid, common sense wise a lot of times. He really is. But I think people take the whole Goku is stupid thing too far sometimes and don't understand how he really is a high intelligence individual. Not in the classic sense of intelligence, but in terms of obviously fighting skill, thinking ahead, pretty much anything that does have to do with fighting, but again, that does add to critical thinking skills, planning ahead, stuff like that. He's an incredibly intelligent being, and that cannot be something that can be joked around with. He really is. But enough about that. This is about episode 71. This is all over the place, but I do have a lot I want to say. It really was a lot of good vibes from this episode, even though it was really a down in the dumps type of episode, I suppose, because Goku, again, is being assassinated. But Goku, I liked that the whole episode he was waiting for Hit the whole time, eating slowly. He was eating rice piece by piece. He wasn't just chowing it down like Goku does. He was eating the rice with his chopsticks, piece by piece. And that's not Goku. That's not like him. So he's really concentrating. He has to go out shopping. He has his eyes closed the whole time, sensing ki. There was a funny scene where he opens his eyes because he couldn't close them any longer, and he sees the bra. I thought that was hilarious. You know, Goten and Trunks are following him. Gohan's in the Great Saiyaman outfit. That part was a little bit unnecessary to have him dress up, I guess. But it's something we saw. I did like Goten's little line where he's talking about how he looks kind of lame in that outfit, so he just took the sunglasses. I also thought it was funny when Goku got hit by the car, and the car turned out to be driven by Bulma, and Bulma tries to hit Goku, and Goku dodges it, and it was said Goku never dodges Bulma's hits, so what's up with him? And Bulma was like, why the hell did you dodge? I like that we got scenes with Vegeta training with Whis. Beerus comes out, says, you know, where's Goku? He hasn't been to training in a while, so it kind of shows that they do go to that planet still and train quite a bit as well. So that's cool to see. Again, Vegeta still realistically, just after the last arc, should be stronger than Goku right now, but it's almost implied that he's not. At least that's just what I'm gathering from it. Beerus mentions the Omni Kings tournament, so foreshadowing for the next arc, I guess, that has been shown off, has been being advertised, and you should have been keeping up with this. Of course, I don't think anyone's really getting that spoiled here. But we get those scenes with Vegeta training. I think that's cool to show him. It doesn't distract from the story at all. And of course, we saw stuff with Hit on this planet, whatever planet that was. It was really coolly a very, very well designed planet. And I'm assuming these are a lot of Toei animation designs, because this isn't a Toriyama story from what we know, at least. He doesn't really have any input in this specific story. That's the next arc. This is a quote-unquote filler piece, side story, whatever you want to call it, filling in the gap between this arc, or the last arc, and the next one. I should say filler's the wrong word. But I like this planet, and the designs of the buildings and the creatures were, the beings that inhabited the planet were a little bit simple, but still at the same time sort of interesting. A little bit, the one boss dude in there was a little bit like an orc, I guess. He had like his bottom teeth were protruding up, and I guess he had blue skin, which isn't really an orc, but still. Again, this planet though, I like that in the craters of the planet was where like these cities lied, it seemed. So there were multiple cities on the planet, but they all resided in these craters, and they were contained by like a storm snow globe type of thing. It was kind of crazy. They were all in like jars filled with just rain and storm. It looked like they were all stormy, at least. I don't quite remember. But as I kind of figured, this dude was, what my most likely explanation of him was, at least, was that he was going to be a guy that was going to be assassinated by Hit. And that is it. It's Hit's target. It shows him walking through the city, getting into the building, assassinating this guy. And it's cool to see. It's because we see that Hit has now increased his time skip power. He does not just have time skip now. He actually stops time completely and wipes this guy's out. And there's sections before then, of course, if you saw it, him walking through there, stealthing through the building by stopping time. And that was really cool to see. It gave me a really good feeling. Very, very stealth video game-ish, I suppose you could say. Something you might see in, I guess, maybe Shadow of Mordor, or I guess Dishonored if you like that. It's one of those types of games, you know, one of those stealth games where you can teleport around. Gave me that kind of vibe, and I really liked that a lot. I don't know if anyone else felt like that, but I did. And I like that, you know, Hit kills this guy, but before he kills him, he's talking about how, you know, oh, I have all this money, I can give you money. Hit's not the type of guy that goes for the highest bidder, it seems. He really is, I have a contract, I have a job, and I'm going to stay loyal to that job until it's done. And I like that about him. No bullshit. He gets the hit from to kill Goku. Out of nowhere, it just comes. He's like, here's my next target. Smiles a little bit. Then goes straight to confront Goku. Gets behind him. Goku goes to meet up with him, of course, because he senses him. I like that Hit gets behind him, and Goku just... he goes Super Saiyan Blue. Hit ends up being behind him. And Goku's just sitting there talking to him, knowing that he should just stay there, you know... Goku thinks he has the edge here, which rightfully he should, because the last time they fought, comparing him to himself, Hit, Goku should have the edge, he thinks. But Hit's been practicing too, it seems. Learning new tricks, new skills, all sorts of things. And the dialogue here, I love the dialogue, is that Hit's like, once you turn around, don't worry because it's going to be one punch and it'll be over, no pain or anything. And I thought that, I'm paraphrasing here obviously, but I thought the dialogue was so finely crafted for that scene, so menacing and really, really, really good. I just love that Goku turns around and he's like, okay, I'm ready to fight, and Hit's just there like, I'm gonna hit this guy once and it's gonna be over. He doesn't understand it, but it does happen. Goku starts swinging at Hit, and Hit's, I don't know if this was him stopping time or if it was another modifier on his time abilities. I don't know exactly what it was. Maybe, I guess it wouldn't really be slowing down time. He's got what? Time skip. You can slow down time, fast forward it, or pause it. I mean, he doesn't have a whole lot of options, I guess, right? So whatever it was is what it was, but Goku's hitting him and it's not doing anything. It's just phasing through him, and he's like teleporting forward, and Goku's trying to ki blast, charge a ki blast at him, and Hit just kills him right there. No problem. And he says, next time I'll see you again when they push you in your grave, which I thought was another pretty amazing line actually by Hit. And Goku shoots his ki blast upward and dies, and then we see Gohan, Piccolo, Trunks find Goku dead, and the episode's over. So again, it's a slow episode. I think it was slowly paced, but having something slow paced does not mean it's bad at all. I mean, unless you have a really, 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 really short attention span. But even in that case, you should still have your attention on this episode pretty much the whole way through. And a lot of you guys probably saw, I don't know how everyone's reacting to this episode, but I did find it very good. Hopefully a lot of you guys did as well. Otherwise, I guess I'm just an idiot who likes garbage. But so far, this little mini story has started off very strong, even though we kind of knew exactly what was going to happen in the episode. And even in the next one, I guess spoilers here for 72. Nothing huge, I guess. If you've been keeping up with Herms on Twitter, and Geekdom and everyone else that reports on spoilers, you're going to know about this. But in episode 72, it is shown that Goku's revived from a ki blast he had shot before he died. And that's the ki blast that, I knew this obviously prior to watching the episode. So when I saw that ki blast, he shot it in the air. I just love the way that it really is. You can see how he really did deliberately aim it up. Again, this is going off of Goku's intelligence here. Goku deliberately aims this ki blast up. You can just see the way he does the motion for it when he dies. He aims it up and shoots up in the sky, so it's gonna come back to him. I'm assuming he's hoping it's gonna work, but I think he knows exactly what he's doing there. And that just shows Goku's intelligence, his forward thinking. Again, not always the best common sense and forgetful, but again, not a complete idiot. But I just love that scene, how I knew in it, obviously if you know in advance that part of the episode in 72, I just love that you can really catch it here and see that he is really planning ahead here. But I want to stop rambling here. Animation quality, I do want to mention, was pretty solid throughout the episode for the most part. There were a couple hitches, and I think there might have been a little bit of reused animation from an earlier episode. I think when Vegeta was fighting Whis, but I can't say for sure. It's just off of memory. It could just look similar. Animation is definitely a noticeable decline in some parts compared to the prior arc and even the last two episodes we had. And it's not a problem really here, but in the preview for 72, guys, that animation is looking really, really bad. And the problem is that's for a fight scene. The animation should not be looking that bad in a fight scene. This is like episode 5 stuff again. And I'm going to do my predictions tomorrow. Don't get all butthurt about me talking about animation because it's silly to get butthurt about that. It is something that you have to look at critically, so I wanted to mention it. It wasn't a problem with this episode, really. It was a little bit less, I guess, polished than usual than what we've been getting. But the next episode, hopefully they do obviously finish it up assuming that is not the final product, how that looks. And hopefully it does look nice and smooth. But from the preview, not very exciting looking, and that could really hinder the next episode, because if it is focused on fighting, that's a big problem. But other than that, guys, again, very solid episode. I enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys did as well. But other than that, guys, stay tuned for the predictions. Of course, thanks for watching. Share your thoughts on this episode down below. And of course, I'll catch you later.